Welcome back to the Wrestle Whispers YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about John Cena's final match and what went wrong. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Last night was John Cena's final match of his career against Gunther at Saturday night's main event. Overall, I think, the show went well. I was very pleased with, the tributes throughout the show, the video packages that they had played leading up to Cena's retirement match. But there's a lot to kind of break down as far as the actual match itself, and most importantly, that finish, because there's a lot of chatter online about that finish and how it made sense or that it didn't make any sense and why they went that direction, and maybe that's what Cena ended up wanting to accomplish in that match. First off, I want to make this explicitly clear. I am still not a fan that they chose Gunther specifically to be John Cena's final match. I know a lot of people say that, he's the one that makes the most sense. He's the one that makes the most sense only because of the story they are trying to tell with Gunther. What they're trying to tell with Gunther is that he retired Goldberg, he now retired John Cena, he may retire AJ Styles, and he's definitely going to retire Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2026 in Minnesota. Mark my words. But why don't I like the decision to actually have Gunther as the final opponent to John Cena? Well, it's simple. The whole card last night revolved around the premise or the concept of paving it forward and showcasing the younger talent, the young up-and-coming superstars from NXT, which, a couple things that I feel like they could have changed with that, but overall, I think they did an all right job of showcasing that young NXT talent, from Opa Femi to Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Sol Ruka. But that was not the case in that main event. Gunther is not some young up-and-coming talent that needs the rub from John Cena or that needs this push to make him a credible heel. He is 38 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Gunther is no spring chicken. He's 38 years old, already had 2 world title reigns, multiple time, or the longest reigning intercontinental champion or something along those lines. I just don't think he needed this. Maybe he's the one that made sense as far as other storylines are concerned right now. A guy like Braun Breaker is tied up in the whole Vision storyline. Oba Femi, he could have been a credible source. He's the NXT champion. They could have had him go against Cena, but they didn't. Maybe Carmelo Hayes, that could have been thrown out there. Gunther just didn't need it. All right? He just didn't. Gunther is already he's already established. And he's 38 years old. I don't even know how much longer Gunther's going to be around for. Maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And the way they did it, man. Again, I'm not sold on Gunther as far as even a credible heel. Well, obviously he's going to get heat. Last night he retired John Cena. Other than that, the only other real true heel moment that he's had was with Jey Uso, and it really wasn't even Jey Uso, it was Jimmy Uso, believe it or not, bloodied, battered in the ring leading up to that WrestleMania match, which he ended up tapping out, by the way. So for the life of me, I will never understand this push for Gunther to be the new legend killer. I just won't. I don't think I'm ever going to buy him as this cruel, vicious, ruthless heel. He hasn't shown me any of that. And to be honest, for me personally, he's kind of a boring wrestler. You got to chop, you got to suplex, you got to splash, and you got a rear naked choke. I mean, you could say the same thing about Cena, the 5 moves of doom, but let's be honest, Cena is legitimately the GOAT, so there's no debate when it comes to that. But that's just me personally. That's my opinion. Now let's get to the actual match itself and that finish. People were chanting Super Cena, man. They wanted Cena to power out of that final last gasp in that rear naked choke. He ended up throwing one of these up. The hand didn't get the 3. And I thought we were going to get that Super Cena, that build-up, Hulkamania moment, and maybe one final AA. Now, granted, overall, I expected John Cena to do the honors. He is a traditionalist when it comes down to the professional wrestling business, okay? I had a feeling he was going to lose. Ever since they announced Gunther to be in that tournament, he was the front runner. I knew he was going to be the one to retire John Cena. I would have liked Cena to win, obviously, right? As just a fan, I think that would have been a great moment. All right, cool. You want to put somebody over. You already know my opinions on Gunther. Don't think he needed it, but that's the circumstance we are, so you want to put him over. Okay. Cena's core values: hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. And he gave up in his final match. Now, you can say this and try to spin it as far as saying, oh, it's poetic. The man who never gave up. He's older. His body is broken down. He has nothing left to give. This is the perfect time for him to give up. But it's not. It's not. They could have accomplished a poetic finish, the man who never gave up, to pass out. I will stick by this. I will stay true to this. You still could have accomplished what you wanted to accomplish with Gunther. You want him to have his heat and be booed out of the building, by the way, like he did. I mean, that crowd was hot towards Gunther. F you Gunther chants, a-hole chants. I saw a video, him leaving the arena and fans are yelling at him and ridiculing him. You want heat, you got heat. You would have had heat regardless. He just retired the greatest of all time. You did not need John Cena to tap out. You did not need John Cena to tap out. He simply could have passed out, and you still could have had that beautiful moment at the end. Him taking in his flowers with all the superstars in the back coming out. For him to give up and actually tap makes zero sense for the career of John Cena. Again, you can try to spin it and say, oh, this is, him, he wanted this, or this is, his idea, and this is the way he wanted to go out. He did go out with a smile in that rear naked choke. He had a little smile, and then he did the quick tap. But I still don't think it makes any sense. I mean, again, if that's the narrative that they'll come up with, is that, he was old, he had nothing left to give, and he finally gave up. But how do you have a 23-year career of him preaching to never give up, and he actually gives up in his final match? I still don't... that can't compute, man. It just cannot compute with me. I think you could have, whatever your goal was to establish whatever kind of Gunther you wanted to be after that match, John Cena just could have passed out, man. And then, you can have fans that say, oh, he passed out and now he's going to have this moment, he's wide awake. Yeah, man, that's what happens. Like, wrestling is, the selling business, so I get it. If you pass out, you got to be carted to the back. But that's not how it works. I mean, look at the UFC guys. Like, real fighting, you get choked out, you get tapped out, you come right back to. They stand in the middle of the ring while they announce the other guy is the winner. Like, sometimes they do post-match or post-fight, post-fight interviews in the ring when people have already been choked out or whatever. So, that's just the wrestling narrative. Like, if he was passed out, he still could have had all the video package play, all the people come out, all that moment with Cody and CM Punk. Like, that all still could have transpired. So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't know. It felt weird. That's just not something you're used to seeing John Cena out of a 23-year career. Again, truly, in my opinion, the greatest of all time. I grew up watching John Cena, so he was always my guy. You know, you can have your opinions on him, whatever you want, if you like other superstars better, but I truly think, as far as metrics, everything involved, there is literally no debate that John Cena is the greatest of all time. It's extremely sad to see him hang it up, leave the shoes and the wristbands and the armbands in the ring. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be sad, man. Obviously, you know, he did announce that he signed a 5-year deal with WWE in an ambassador role. You know, I don't know what that entails, if we ever will see him on screen again. And I mean, maybe this is just something backstage that he's going to be doing, you know, helping the younger talent. But yeah, man, you're never going to see an entrance again. You're never going to see him rock the jorts again. So yeah, man, just reflecting on everything, it definitely is sad. It's tough. It's tough to watch, you know. You get older, and all these icons and legends, they eventually got to hang it up, man. The older we get, the older our childhood heroes and these legends of the game get older too. So, man, it's tough to see, but, you know, it's over. The John Cena retirement tour is officially over. You know, maybe I'll do another video breaking down the entire run here. But this was just a little reflection of last night itself. So, yeah, guys, let me know down below in the comment section what you guys thought overall of John Cena's retirement match, your initial reactions. If you loved it, if you hated it, what you could have changed about it, what you would have, you know, thought would have been better. Let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. Please like the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be pumping out a lot of content over here, so make sure you guys are subscribed if you're new around here. And other than that, man, my name is Dylan, and I'm out. Peace.